you ever pass a corner of Fort and Grant, where a little ball of rhythm has a shine sand, people gather round and they clap their hands. He's a great big bundle of joy. He pumps the boogie woogie rag, the Chattanooga shoe shine boy.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Jebediah Calhoun of Oxford Community Television. Today we are here at the Oxford Methodist Church. We are here for the Oxford Wildcat Professional Theater Company. They are rehearsing for their show, A Day in the Life of 1950s Radio. We're going to talk to Adam and Lydia, the playwright of this show, and see what they have to say about this production. Come along.
He charges you a nickel just to shine one shoe. He makes the oldest kind of leather look like new. You feel as though you want to dance when he gets through. He's a great big bundle of joy. He pumps the boogie woogie rag, the Chattanooga shoe shine boy.
Hello, everyone. I'm here with Adam Silorey of the Oxford Wildcat Professional Theater Company. Hello, Adam.
Hello, how are you?
I'm doing very well. How are you?
I'm well, thanks.
Yeah, perfect. Would you mind telling me a bit about what the Wildcat Professional Theater Company is doing here today?
Absolutely. We have a lot going on. Right now, we are in rehearsals for a show called A Day in 1950s Radio, and it is by local playwright Lydia Stewart.
Okay.
This show is it's fast-paced, it's fun, it's a comedy, and it basically is the play that goes wrong mixed with the 39 Steps, mixed with It's a Wonderful Life radio show. It takes all of the heart and soul of every piece of those shows and just puts it into one beautiful little 1950s package.
Right, perfect, yeah. So would you tell me a bit about what the theater company is hoping to get from this?
Sure. So as we're moving through this season of hopes and dreams, that's what we called our season one, season of hopes and dreams. I'm reminded of, like what comedy was, and it's these stock characters. It goes back, if you think of like Commedia dell'arte back, in Italy, it's these stock characters, and it has been funny since then, and it's the same thing today. Like comedy hasn't changed, and so it's kind of fun to get to go to the theater, forget about, your worries for a night and just enjoy laughter for the sake of laughter. And so that's what we're trying to provide with this show.
Yeah, that's beautiful. And I remember you were talking about wanting to provide us a sense of self-love with your last show, Bright Star. So it's nice to see like the hidden meanings behind like your shows, what you're hoping to achieve with them. Would you mind telling me a bit about any future plans that the Wildcat Company has?
Sure. So not only are we in rehearsals for this is a pro stage offering where we have 4 professional actors coming in, bring the story to life. We have an educational stage show that's in rehearsals right now. Our first through 8th graders are they're rehearsing for Narnia, The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
Trying to get everyone involved. So if they don't want to act, is there other places that they can be in?
Absolutely. We have tons of opportunities. We need people for social media. Our marketing game we want to revamp. We need people for just box office working or pouring slushies at the events.
Right.
Concessions. Absolutely. We have backstage positions. We have stage management positions. We have something for everybody. There's a home for everybody here at OWPTC.
Would you tell me a bit about if you're a student and they would like to audition, what school is it going to be at?
So the performance is at Oxford Middle School. Oxford Middle School has opened up their doors to us, but we open our doors, the OWPTC, to any student that is in the surrounding area that wants to be a part.
Beautiful.
We already had auditions for Narnia, but we have some backstage positions, some really key, important pieces. I'm setting it in post-apocalyptic America.
Okay. Wow.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Wow.
And so we have the whole set is a series of gears that are going to be turning the whole time and moving,
perfect.
and we need people to help bring that vision to life. So there's a lot.
Right.
There's a lot of ways people can get involved, especially
Beautiful.
students.
That's beautiful. How about for your professional company? If there's people that aren't in 1st to 8th grade and they see what you're doing and they love it, how can they get involved?
Sure. So our high school students, we offer a acting apprenticeship.
Okay. Yeah.
And then for the community 18 plus, we have auditions. So this summer, we are going to be doing a community theater show
Wow.
that we're opening up our doors to the entire community. We are going to be releasing that title soon. Those auditions will probably be mid-June. But then it's the next season. We have a lot of things coming to the community. We have like a Bridgerton-inspired piece.
Oh wow.
Yeah. We have some classics and then some new work. We're gonna have some swashbuckling up on our stage. There's a lot. So
Yeah.
we have something for everybody for sure.
Yeah, I think it's beautiful that you're collaborating with a fellow local playwright, right, with Lydia, for this show too. It's awesome what you guys do. You're trying to help everyone, boost everyone up.
She's genius. I'm so lucky to have her on the team. So yeah.
Perfect. Is there anything else that you would like to add?
Yes, absolutely. Actually, for those of you who have come to see our shows in the past, we're gonna look a whole lot more professional. We're so thankful to the Four Counties Community Foundation. They have awarded us a grant so that we can purchase new light and sound equipment, so we can look and sound better than ever before.
That's so beautiful. That's awesome. I'm so happy for you guys. Thank you so much, Adam, for the interview. I hope all goes well for the performance. I'm so excited to see it come to fruition.
Thanks. I appreciate your time.
Yeah, no problem. I appreciate yours. Hello, everyone. I'm here with Lydia Stewart. She is a playwright and the writer of A Day in the Life of 1950s Radio. Hello, Lydia. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great.
That's perfect. Can you tell me a little bit about A Day in the Life of 1950s Radio?
Yeah, so this play is exactly what it sounds like. It's a day in 1950s radio station. We have some actors who are coming in to do a drama for the night, and they instantly are met with a whole bunch of problems. And so it's watching a radio production happen in front of your eyes. You're both hearing all of the sound effects that they would have made live and watching it, as well as watching them deal with problems that are always going to be a very real part of anything that's live. So it's sort of a front stage view as well as a background view of what would have been going on at the time and something like that.
That's perfect. Can you tell me a little bit about the genre? Would you categorize it as like comedy? Is it more drama?
It's definitely comedy. A little bit of slapstick. There's some music involved, 1950s jingles. Anybody who grew up listening to 1950s radio would actually probably find things that they have heard before, maybe haven't heard in a really long time, get a sense of nostalgia. So it's very true to the era because it's actually music and drama from the era.
That's genius too, and so painstaking too, right? For such a detail that, not everyone would notice, but when you do notice, it's just that it's a special shout out, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's perfect. Will you tell me about you said that you're doing like live Foley, right, for the play?
Yes. So when we use the word Foley, we're talking about sound effects made live in the moment for the microphone, for the hearing audience. And so what's fun about this is we get to see a sound that was originally intended only for a hearing audience. So how did they make the sound of somebody walking through gravel? What were they doing actually when it was supposed to be raining and thundering? So we get to see all of that happen and get to see the person who's in charge of that kind of dashing back and forth between items, maybe between tables, trying to make sure he has all those right sounds at the right moment.
Yeah, that's brilliant. That's brilliant. Can you tell me a little bit about what inspired you to write this?
So I remember years and years ago, I saw a radio show, and I was really fascinated by the Foley work. And they had Foleys who were making vocal sound effects. They had Foleys who were playing instruments as well. So it was it was really, really complex. But I got really interested in the genre. And if you've ever seen a radio show before, you realize that it's a multi-layered experience.
Right.
And so I knew I wanted to write one someday. And so about 3 years ago, I got around to writing my own.
That's perfect. And like I said, the dedication that you did, like siphoning through like all of these, like actual shows and stuff and including like callbacks to them. It's genius. Is there anything else that you would like to add to the folks at home watching about your show?
So one of my favorite things about this show is that it's detective noir inside the comedy. So if you ever got to see the old black and white detective stories, it's very tongue-in-cheek, lots of comedy inside of deadpan. So it's a very unique little niche, but I think once you're in the world, you get it. So it's a lot of fun.
Perfect. It's like when you think about 50s, you think like those like 50s noir detective films.
Mm-hmm.
That's perfect. When can we watch these shows for the people at home watching?
You can join us in Metamora, April 4th, 5th, and 6th. April 4th and 5th is a 7 o'clock show, and then the last show is going to be a matinee. So we would love to see everybody come and enjoy detective noir in Metamora.
Yeah, perfect. Well, thank you so much for joining me for the interview today. I appreciate it so much.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you.
It's a wonder that the rag don't tear the way he makes it pop. You want to see him fan the air with his 9. He likes to get up early when they're feeling fine. Everybody gets a little rise and shine with a great big bundle of joy. He pops a boogie woogie rag, a Chattanooga shoe shine boy.
All right, everyone. Well, we talked to Lydia and Adam of the Oxford Wildcat Professional Theater Company. They told us a bit about what they are planning to do with this show, A Day in the Life of a 1950s Radio. We heard a bit about what they're planning to do with The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, a show for 1st through 8th graders. If you're interested in joining them, you might not be able to get involved with this particular production, but they have plenty more up their sleeve. Get into contact with them, the Oxford Wildcat Professional Theater Company. They'd love to have you. Enjoy.
Well, this afternoon, we are sitting in Oxford Middle School with Stacy Williams. Stacy, thank you for taking some time with us today to talk about your job in the counseling world. So first of all, we appreciate your time.
Yes, thank you.
You're quite welcome. What do you do, and how is it you're sitting in the middle school doing it?
Okay.
Give us a sense for what you're all about and what the operation here is all about, please.
Okay. Well, I'm Stacy Williams. I'm the caseworker at Oxford Addison Youth Assistance.
Yep.
We're a nonprofit organization here in the Oxford Community Schools. We are a tri-sponsorship between the 6th Judicial Circuit Court Family Division, the school district here, and the municipalities that make up the community. So Oxford Township, the Village of Oxford, Addison Township, and the Village of Leonard. And so since the school district is one of our sponsors, they provide office space for us to run our nonprofit.
Got it. So you're here. How do you function? How do you get leads for the kinds of counseling that you might help, for the kind of assisting that you do? If you're in youth assistance, I guess there's probably some assisting you do.
Yes.
How do you find people to assist, and then how do you go about providing that assistance, please?
Yes. Yep. So I am an employee of the Oakland County Circuit Court, and so they provide a professional caseworker to do direct one-on-one counseling services and casework support. And so we have 3 main referrals that we mainly work with, and that is a parent. Any parent can come and call our office and ask for support. The school district is our main referral source because they work and educate all the students here, and so they have direct contact with students as well as parents. And then we also work with law enforcement, the local Oakland County Sheriff's Department and Oxford Police, to be able to work with kids that get in trouble or have some type of police contact.
Got it. So you get lots of people who have a vested interest, I'll say, in helping kids who might be going in the wrong direction to get steered back to a better course. Is that fair?
Yes, yep. So we range all the way from working with five-year-old students all the way until seniors that are about to graduate. And the reason why they come to our office is really a variety. It's individualized based on that child's needs. Sometimes the perception is youth assistance is for bad kids, and that's not necessarily the case. We do work with kids that do have some type of court involvement or police contact, but the reason why it was developed was to kind of help those kids understand, take responsibility, understand how one bad mistake can affect their life, and it's really a opportunity for them to learn from a mistake rather than going down that wrong path. Our true mission is prevention work, and so we really want those younger elementary, early middle school to really give them skills to make better decisions, to have healthy coping skills to deal with the evolving changes of the world and emotional regulation. And so the younger we get them and the support that we can provide them at a young age is hopefully going to help equip them to be able to handle things as they, move through adolescence.
And it's a crazy time. We all had to go through it. We all lived through it.
Yeah.
But there's a lot going on.
Yeah.
So if I got it right, parents or school or law might be sources where kids are, I'll say, encouraged to come and seek the kind of help that you can point them toward. Is it fair to say that might mean some of the kids who walk in here are not particularly enchanted about being here.
Yes, that
Yep.
can be the case. Yeah.
See how I figured that out?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Our services are voluntary, so
Okay.
we never want to force families to participate. We are a free service in the community. We want to be able to help guide students or parents with support, whether it's working directly one-on-one with me over a course of a few months or connecting them to resources in the community, whether that might be mental health support, community involvement activities, things that kids can get involved in. That way they can get out of the house and enjoy fresh air, interactions with other kids.
So lots of opportunities. Kids have to come in the door, though, right?
Yeah.
Once they come in, it sounds like you're equipped to encourage them, counsel them, point them in direction. Could you give us, without obviously names, a couple of examples of children, young people who have walked in the door, and how what's their path from when they walk in to sometime later when they walk out, and maybe they're feeling better about life. Could you give us an example or two?
Yeah. So, we get some elementary students that struggle with separation from their parents, going into kindergarten or first grade. That transition into elementary, and so some kids, really struggle with getting up in the morning, getting to school. Parents might be battling getting them on the bus or in the vehicle. And I've worked with kids to kind of identify what are those reasons why they don't want to go to school. Is it related to anxiety? Helping them understand the difference between not feeling good and maybe there is something that is more going on, and giving them coping skills to work on. To be able to go to school, whether it's maybe changing the routine, getting their clothes out the night before, or getting their lunch packed so there's less stress and chaoticness in the morning. And so that's helpful for parents to kind of give more tools in their toolbox on how to work with those things, but then give, an opportunity for kids to, talk about what's bothering them or what are some of the reasons why they don't want to go to school.
Got it. So that would be starting out a young person. How about the middle school kids? It's a different time of life for them. Lots of things going on in their world. An example of someone who may have come in and been able to be benefited by the services that you can provide or point them to.
Yeah. So in our middle school students, we see a lot of peer conflicts, whether it's social media, just not getting along, with them. So, sometimes it's just giving them somebody to talk about what's going on with their social world, help navigate, what they could do in situations. Like a more recent person that I met with, they were talking about how they were feeling like they were getting stuck between, two kids that were mad at each other. And so, those two kids were trying to pull that person in and to be on their side and, causing a lot of stress and anxiety for that student. Because, like, I don't want to pick sides. I just want to be friends with both of them. So being able to kind of talk through that, problem solve, what are things you could do in those moments when, your peers are, trying to influence you or peer pressuring you into, doing certain things. And then I would say for some of those high school students or even upper, like 8th graders, those students that might get in trouble with the police, what that would look like is our diversion services. So really talking about, what got them to that police contact, having them really review and process what happened, take accountability for their part in that situation, and then give them some, understanding of what court could look like if they went down that route, how it could impact their current life and then their future. So giving them a really understanding, like, just because your child is, you continue to have these police contacts, your adult life could look really different, and trying to give them looking at another path for them.
Given that, those are big tasks. Those are big shifts from, oh my gosh, the sky is falling, to I'm feeling a lot better. It's a lot of work. How long might it take typically? Case by case, I'm sure is different, but do you work with a kid for a week or a month or a semester or a year or more?
Generally, our services are short term, so we usually do like 3 to 6 months, depending on the need of the student or the family. Sometimes it can be longer. as long as the family and the child is engaged in services, I don't mind, continuing to see them until they feel comfortable that they can manage things on their own.
Do you have cooperation with the administration for the school here?
Yeah, yep, absolutely.
Good.
Yep. So families, when they come in, they do have to check in the main office and sign in, and then I bring them back to my office if it's during the school day.
Would it be fair to say that the administration of this particular school, if they have a kid with a problem, they might step in and say, I think you need to go upstairs and step into this role? Does that happen from time to time? A referral from the administration here?
Yeah, it can be. Yep. Yeah. Or a lot of times the school tries to handle things within their own buildings, and they might, depending on the situation, they might, request for a parent like youth assistance would be really beneficial. We're going to submit a referral, or our goal is really to have the collaboration between the administration and the parent and help them understand, at least come in and for one appointment and see what they can provide and offer. I think the biggest thing is there's a misconception of what youth assistance is, and some families are hesitant to come into our office because it sounds scary. We are part of the court, which can be scary, but our goal is to provide gaps in support to help kids be able to be successful in life.
Got it. You like what you do?
I love it, yep.
Why?
I think that looking at my own childhood and my experiences, if I had support, that I think it would have helped me further myself and better myself. And it's kind of hits me right at home, and I want to be able to be a person that parents can rely on and kids can get support from.
Got it. So, given all these services that are available to young'uns and middle'uns and through high school, if you were sitting down with a group of parents with some organization, what would you tell them about why they might think about using or at least contacting you about the services that might be helpful for my little son or my little daughter, because they're really practically perfect, but they're not quite perfect yet, and we're going through a hard time? What would you tell a parent that would make them maybe say, maybe I should call her and talk? How would you speak to them?
Yeah, I would say that my office is a judgment-free zone. That I'm here to listen and understand. Those parents are the expert of their children, so I'm never a person to come in and say you're doing something wrong or you should be doing this. It's me gathering information and understanding the whole family in the situation and trying to give them compassion and help them, understand that there's people out here that can support them. Right. And I'm here to kind of problem solve with them and figure out what they feel that they need for their child.
Got it. One last, whether it's from parent or school or law enforcement, a kid is referred into you. Do you ever meet with the kid and the parents, or is it always only the kid?
I do both. So generally that first appointment, depending on their age, is either going to be with just parent or it'd be parent and child. And that's considered our intake appointment. So that's really kind of gathering background information, understanding the complexity of the situation. And then we come up with a plan together of what appointments look like, whether it's joint sessions, maybe alternating between just meeting with the student one-on-one and then bringing the parent in. But it's really individualized based on the need of the family and the child.
Good. And is there a cost for this service?
There is no cost. It's a complete free program.
Excellent. How would a parent or other person get a hold of you if they wanted to talk?
They would just call my office directly.
And that number would be?
248-969-5074.
Okay, and that will show up on the screen here. Is there an email where you might want them to know that they could use as well?
Yep, so we have our general email is oxfordaddisony@gmail.com. They can contact and send an email, and our office secretary would forward me any information. I would call the parent directly.
Got it. So they could call, they could email, They could probably come in and knock on the door, I presume so,
Yeah,
Dawn?
yeah, they could go. Yep, or they could reach out to a counselor or a support person that they have at one of the school buildings if they feel comfortable.
Got it, okay. Well, I want to thank you for, first of all, giving us time, but maybe more important than that, to give your time and effort to help kids who are in maybe a tough spot for a while. Do you feel like you have a positive impact on most of their lives? You can't fix them, but do you feel like you have a pretty good influence on most of them?
I do. I feel like I do a good job at really taking the time to listen and understand. Sometimes I hear a lot of kids feel like they're not being heard.
Yeah.
You know, even though I'm a fixer, I want to give advice out. Just giving somebody that they can, feel comfortable with saying what they want to say and, feel in a safe environment.
Anything else you want to say today?
Oh, no, that's it.
Excellent. I thank you then very much. We appreciate the work you
thank
do
you.
and hope that you are able to continue to help kids go through that stage is tough, and then we get to be adults. And of course, the adult world is easy every day, but until they get here, thank you again,
Yeah,
Stacy.
thank you so much.
We appreciate it. For Stacy, this is Chuck saying we hope you take advantage of the services available to you in the Oxford-Addison area. And until next time, you have a really good day.
Hello, my name is Megan. I am the owner of Eras Bookstore, located at 1470 South Lapeer Road. I grew up in Oxford. I went to the elementary, middle school, and I graduated high school in 2010. I've always loved books when I was reading, and I thought this would be a great place to own a bookstore. We offer a range of books from fiction to fantasy to dark romance to young adult and mystery thriller. Our store hours are 11 to 6 from Tuesday to Sunday, and we are closed on Monday. We also have a cafe where we have special lattes and drinks. We have dirty sodas, lemonades, espresso. We also have a bakery located in our bookstore. We offer a range of baked goods from a local bakery, Crispy Alley's. We have cheese danishes to blueberry muffins. We also have some vegan options too, and a whole range of cookies that we also offer. Also, during after hours, we hold events, and some of our events are bingo nights, and we also do some crafts, which will be on our website, erasbooks.com. I just absolutely love Oxford, and I hope you will come and visit our store and love it also.